All right. Hey guys, Dakota and Kev with another episode of Just the Tips 17.4. WOD was just released and it's going to be a repeat of 16.4, which is chipper, AMRAP style though, time limits, AMRAP time limit of deadlifts, wall balls, rowing, and handstand push-ups. Last year when I did this, I did it twice. First time, really briefly, I came out a little too hot and everything, and we're going to kind of get into how to avoid that. And I came out a little too hot, I kind of burned myself out, got to the wall, and I did as well as I could on the handstand push-ups. Finished the WOD, and I was exhausted. I was like, man, I left it all out there. Redid the workout 3 days later, did it all again, but way more conservatively, getting to the handstand push-ups, beat my score by a few reps, I think like 5 reps or something, 3 reps. But I felt a lot better after the WOD, and yet still I had given my all, I just game planned a little bit better.
Yeah, I had a poor game plan last year. I came out pretty hard on the deadlifts. Like that's a strength of mine. I thought I could, make some time up there. It was a huge mistake. I think I did 55 reps in 3 sets. Is what it ended up being. I was pretty smoked for wall balls, which I'm already bad at. So that just crushed me. I'm a little bit better this year. I'm going to break up my deadlifts early and often. Brooke Wells, she started off with sets of 5, and she's badass deadlifter, so I'm probably gonna go with the same plan. Try to maintain tension, breathe for those reps, drop at the top on my sets of 5, and then start back over again. When I get to the wall balls, again I'm gonna break up early and often. I'm gonna do sets of 5 for me because they're kind of a weakness, and then just control my breathing the whole time, especially on wall balls. Row, I'm gonna pick a pace. I think we talked before this video a little bit about how long that would take us. I'm thinking for me it'll probably be like 2:30 to finish 55 cals. I'm going to try to pace it appropriately to hit that. And then the standard for the handstand push-ups just destroyed me last year. I didn't practice it at all. I thought my handstand push-up game was strong, and I got no reps like 25 times. I came out and Coach DJ was my judge, and he started to feel bad for me for how many no reps I got. I ended up with 6 or something. I can't remember, but it was terrible. So I'm going to practice that before I do the WOD, and I recommend highly that you do too.
I think most of you guys' game plan should basically look like that, just on a broad perspective on how this WOD should really be approached. Basically, for elite athletes, they're going to get into the second round of deadlifts. And they just need to make sure that the way that they set up their movements in sets and rest time is not going to affect their high skill movement, which is their handstand push-ups, in order for them to be able to do that. For us, it's kind of similar because we're all probably going to get stopped on the handstand push-ups or sooner. If we think we're going to get stopped sooner, we need to work to whatever we're going to get stopped at and go a little bit harder earlier, right? But for most of us that are going to get stopped on handstand push-ups, we need to set ourselves up throughout this entire WOD so that we have our best chance at being as efficient and getting as many reps as possible during that time. I think what is required to do that is a lower heart rate and being calmer so that we can control our body, keep our abs tight, squeeze our butt, extend our arms all the way overhead, because we know the standard is tough, reaching with our heels, and be in the right mindset to do that. I think that if we get there and we're redlined, we're going to have a lot of trouble because it's very hard to do handstand push-ups. They're not the highest skill movement, but they're high enough skill that they're very hard to do while super fatigued. Deadlifts, I can rip deadlifts while I have a high heart rate. Handstand push-ups, not so much. Kev said 5s on the deadlift. I think that's appropriate. I think for some of you guys, that's even going to be too much. And maybe not sets of 5, but maybe the rest in between them needs to be longer then. So not everybody can rip sets of 5 hypothetically, but some people are going to do 5, rest, then 5. Other people are going to do 5, and then they should rest 10 seconds in between. I know that seems crazy, and it's really hard to force yourself to rest for a long amount of time in between these sets, and that's the point of this workout. It's very tricky. 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody's cheering for you. You do your first set. All right, this is me doing my set. Boom, you drop it, and you're like, all right, cool, that was a good rest. All right? And then by 15 of 50, you are exhausted. Your back is smoked, and it's going to affect you later on in the WOD. So take it slow. When you get to the wall balls, same thing. Pick sets. You want as few sets as possible, but but you need to finish them cleanly and not change those sets. So if I choose to do 5 sets of 10, and then when I get to my last set of 10, I have to do singles, I paced inappropriately. What I need to do then is choose prior to do 3 sets of 10 and then 4 sets of 5 or something like that. That's going to allow me to get through it cleaner while doing a lot of work and resting as little as possible, and also not elevating my heart rate too much for the handstand push-ups. Once again, as with the deadlifts, err on the side of caution. Row, same thing, same story for all 3 guys. I rode slower than most people on this last year. I remember this because Marissa was like all amped up in front of me, and she was like I think it was like her and Todd. Todd was like, all right, bro, time to turn up the pace. Marissa was like, let's go, you know, screaming at me, high-pitched voice. And then DJ was like judging me. He was kind of like, all right, man, I think it's time. Get that pace going, you know? And I rode slow as hell. But I was just trying to slow myself down, and I got to the wall, and I caught up to people. I beat other people. If I was a games athlete, I probably would have needed to row faster because I need to do more handstand push-ups, which most people probably expected me to do. But you know, once again, I've let everybody down. But all jokes aside, you need to be at a low heart rate in order to do well on the handstand push-ups, and that's going to be your goal. When I got to the wall in handstand push-ups, the difference between my first and second retry, first one, I got to the wall in handstand push-ups, and I was like, yes, I made it. I paced okay, jumped up the wall, and I think I did 20 handstand push-ups. Then I did singles or doubles for the rest of the time. Bad idea. Jump up on the wall and have a number. 2s, 3s, 5 is a lot, depending on who you are. If you're a games athlete, it's not a lot. You know, it might be appropriate, but 5 is probably the end range, I would say. I would say 4s is a little bit better, and then probably, realistically, because I see everybody perform in this gym and I see the numbers in Wi-Fi, 2s and 3s is honestly going to be more appropriate with a little bit of a break. So you don't redline, you don't get crazy, you don't get sloppy, and you don't get no reps, which, like Kev said, destroyed it.
Yeah. I mean, common theme is not all the work we did beforehand, like speeding through that to get to the wall, like Dakota said, like managing your level of fatigue, your heart rate, so that you can really, maximize the reps that you get on your handstand push-ups is the name of the game, I think. There's so many people that had the same problem that I had last year, where I got to the wall with like 3 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left or something like that on handstand push-ups. The time that I spent on the other movements wasn't a problem. All the no reps I got on the handstand push-ups was a problem. And that was a factor of not practicing the standard and being fatigued and trying to do a huge set on my first set of handstand push-ups. I think I did the same thing as him. I came out with like a set of 15 or 20, which smoked me, and I got no reps on like 12 of those reps. So, I think that is the name of the game.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really fun WOD. Let us know if you have any questions. I'm actually stoked. I think it's great. It means maybe the last WOD's going to be thrusters and dubs. That's going to suck. Yeah. Anything else to add?
No.
Let me think.
Do you want to show me the deadlift trick?
No, I don't think that's a trick. I don't like that trick that much. It's a great trick. No, I don't think it's a good deadlift trick. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck.